world of Hollywood stood still as family, friends, and fans gathered to bid their final farewell to one of the most beloved actresses of all time, Diane Keaton. Her funeral was not about glamour or fame. It was about a mother, a friend, and a woman who left an unshakable mark on everyone who ever crossed her path. The heartbreaking sight of her son, Duke Keaton, delivering an emotional tribute became the most unforgettable moment of the day, moving everyone in attendance to tears. Diane Keaton passed away at the age of 79, leaving behind decades of memories and a legacy that shaped the film industry. Her funeral was held in Los Angeles, attended by close friends, family, and several well-known figures from Hollywood who came to honor her. Though the event was private, the emotions were raw and real. Duke Keaton, her son, stood before the crowd with a trembling voice as he began to speak about the woman who had been his guiding light since childhood. "Mom wasn't just an actress to me," Duke said. "She was the most patient listener, the most honest critic, and the one person who never stopped believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself." His words carried the weight of grief, and the audience could feel the love he held for his late mother. Every line he spoke reminded everyone that behind the fame and the iconic hats, Diane Keaton was a mother who loved her children more than anything in the world. Many in attendance, including Diane's longtime co-stars and friends like Al Pacino, Bette Midler, and Woody Allen, struggled to hold back tears as Duke continued. He shared personal memories from his childhood, moments that reflected Diane's kindness and humor. He recalled how she would stay up late helping him with school projects and how she insisted that family dinners be a place for laughter, not screens. Those simple details painted a picture of Diane Keaton not as the movie star the public adored, but as the caring mother who made ordinary days feel special. Bette Midler, Diane's close friend, was seen comforting Duke after his speech. She later told the press, "Diane had a heart like no one else. She was fearless, loving, and funny, always funny. I can't imagine Hollywood without her." Al Pacino, who shared the screen with Diane in The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2, also spoke briefly at the service. He said, "Diane had a spark that no camera could capture fully. She made everyone around her better. Losing her feels like losing a part of our own story." The ceremony was kept simple, just as Diane would have wanted. There were no extravagant decorations or large displays, only her favorite photos and a small arrangement of white roses, a flower she loved for its simplicity. The focus remained on her life and the people she touched. Several clips of her most iconic performances were played quietly on a screen, reminding everyone of the incredible artistry that defined her career. As the service continued, Duke's younger sister, Dexter Keaton, also shared her words. She spoke softly but with strength, saying, "My mom taught me that love is not about perfection. It's about presence. She showed up for us every single day. Even in her hardest moments, she was there." Her words reflected Diane's consistent devotion to her family, which she often mentioned in interviews. The pain in the room was undeniable, but so was the pride. Diane Keaton had built a life that balanced success with authenticity. She never let Hollywood define who she was. Her children were always her top priority. Duke's emotional tribute reminded everyone of that truth. "She didn't care about being perfect," he said through tears. "She cared about being real. She told me once, 'Duke, the only thing worth being in life is honest.' And that's who she was, honest to the end." Several of Diane's co-stars also sent messages that were read aloud during the service. Meryl Streep, who worked with Diane in Marvin's Room, wrote, "Diane's laughter could fill any space, but it was her honesty that stayed with you. She made you see life differently." Goldie Hawn wrote, "Diane never followed trends. She created them. Her style, her humor, her courage, they were all her own." The funeral wasn't about sadness alone. It was a reflection of gratitude. People spoke about the joy Diane brought into their lives, her generosity, and her unfiltered personality. Even during her later years, she remained active, mentoring young actors and sharing her wisdom. Her honesty and humor were legendary. She often said, "Life isn't about pretending, it's about living." and those words became a guiding message for many who admired her. After the main ceremony ended, a quiet moment followed as everyone stood in silence. Duke placed his hand gently on his mother's casket and whispered something private. Though no one could hear his words, his tears said it all. That single moment captured the heartbreak and love of a son saying goodbye to his mother for the last time. Friends close to the family revealed that Diane had been preparing her children for this moment. Despite her health struggles, she remained positive and continued to encourage them to keep going and keep loving life. Those who knew her said she never wanted anyone to feel pity for her. She faced aging with grace and humor, often making jokes about it in interviews. In recent years, Diane often spoke about her children being her greatest accomplishment. In one interview, she said, "I may have won awards, but my real success is being their mom. They've given me more love than I ever imagined." Those words became even more meaningful at her funeral, as Duke's tribute brought her motherhood into the spotlight once again. Throughout her life, Diane Keaton was known for her authenticity. She refused to conform to Hollywood norms, whether in fashion or in personal choices. She remained proudly herself, a quality her children deeply admired. Duke mentioned in his speech that she taught them the value of individuality. "Mom told me that the best thing you can be is yourself. Don't try to be the world's idea of perfect. Just be you," he said. As the crowd began to leave, many reflected on the incredible influence Diane had on the industry. Younger actors described her as a mentor who gave advice without judgment. One young actress who had met her at a charity event said, "She told me to never apologize for being different. That stuck with me." The funeral also highlighted how Diane's legacy would continue through her family and her work. Her performances in Annie Hall, Something's Gotta Give, and The First Wives Club remained timeless, loved by generations. But for her children, her greatest role was being their mother. Duke's words captured that perfectly when he said, "She wasn't just my mom, she was my best friend. She made me laugh when I wanted to cry. She gave me courage when I was scared. She loved me without asking for anything in return." Fans around the world reacted emotionally to news of the funeral. Social media was flooded with messages expressing sorrow and love. Many fans wrote about how Diane's films had touched their lives. One comment read, "She made us believe in love, laughter, and imperfection." Another wrote, "Her characters were real because she was real." The emotional tribute by her son reminded everyone that behind every great artist is a human being, a mother, a friend, a soul who gives love freely. Diane Keaton lived that way until the end. Her funeral wasn't just the end of a life. It was the celebration of a woman who lived with honesty, humor, and heart. As people walked out of the venue, some quietly hummed "Seems Like Old Times," a song closely associated with Diane's Annie Hall days. It was a soft reminder of her unforgettable screen presence. Her laughter, her unique voice, and her genuine warmth left a mark that no one could ever replace. For Duke and Dexter, the days ahead will surely be difficult, but they will carry forward her lessons, her humor, and her strength. "She told us to keep laughing," Duke said in closing. "Even when life feels too heavy," she said, "laughter is what keeps the heart alive." Those words ended the service, leaving everyone in tears but also with a quiet smile, just as Diane would have wanted. Diane Keaton's journey ended, but her influence remains. She lived authentically, loved deeply, and inspired millions. As her son's words echoed in everyone's hearts, it became clear that her story didn't end with her passing. It will live on through every film, every memory, and every person she touched, even in death. Diane Keaton continues to remind the world of the beauty of being real. Her funeral wasn't just a farewell. It was a reminder of how one woman's life could bring so much light to others. And as the world says goodbye, one question lingers in the hearts of her fans. How do we fill the silence left by someone whose laughter once filled our screens and hearts so effortlessly?